Shadows of the Past, Part 5. Kazumori had enjoyed years of peace after the final night of the curse, but Kaede could feel something lingering, an unease that grew stronger with each passing full moon. Her father, Hiroshi, was content to believe that the curse was lifted, but Kaede sensed that the spirits were still restless, and the deeper she ventured into the forest, the more she felt it, a silent, watchful presence. Then one night, a chill spread through the village as the wolf moon rose, casting an unnatural glow over Kazumori. Shadows crept through the trees, and a familiar howl echoed from the mountain. Kaede woke, her heart racing, and saw the faint figure of a wolf outside her window. It was the spirit she thought they'd laid to rest, but it seemed more spectral, like a memory given form. Gathering her courage, Kaede followed the apparition into the forest. The wolf led her up the mountain path, winding towards the ruins of the cursed village where Tsukio and his men had fallen. At the edge of the ruins, the wolf stopped, and Kaede felt as if the land itself were holding its breath. In the center of the ruins, standing among the crumbling stones and twisted trees, were the shadows of Tsukio's warriors, silent figures, their eyes glinting like embers in the moonlight. Kaede realized they weren't fully at rest, bound to the land by a hatred and sorrow that even the end of the curse couldn't ease. A voice drifted through the ruins, deep and cold. It was Tsukio's, though his form was not among the shadows. Our leader may have been freed, but his followers remain, bound by vengeance. They cannot be released by force, but only by the atonement of the living. Kaede gripped the talisman her father had given her, its faint glow illuminating the darkness. "I will do whatever it takes to end your suffering," she declared. The ghostly warriors began to move, drawing closer, their faces twisted in expressions of anger and loss. Kaede closed her eyes and began to chant the ancient prayer that had freed Tsukio, her voice steady even as the shadows closed in around her. But as she chanted, a new figure stepped forward, the spirit of a young warrior with eyes filled with sorrow. "Words alone will not be enough," he whispered. "We need to see that you understand our pain." Suddenly, Kaede was overcome with visions, flashes of the past when Tsukio's men had fought to protect their families, only to be betrayed by their leader's pride. She felt their despair, the weight of their loyalty twisted into a curse that had haunted them for generations. Tears filled Kaede's eyes as she understood their suffering, and she lowered her head in reverence. "Your sacrifice was not in vain," she said, her voice breaking. "Kazumori remembers you, not as shadows or monsters, but as protectors who lost their way. I vow to honor your memory, and to teach the village of your sacrifice." The spirits halted, their anger softening into something like relief. The young warrior nodded, and a faint smile crossed his face. "Then perhaps our story will not be forgotten," he murmured. One by one the spirits began to dissolve, fading into the soft glow of the moonlight as the land released them from their torment. The air grew still, and Kaede felt a gentle warmth surround her, as if the mountain itself were finally at peace. When she returned to the village, Kaede gathered the people of Kazumori and shared the true story of the wolf spirit's origin and the sacrifices of Tsukio's men. They built a new shrine in the village center, not only to honor the wolf spirit, but also to remember the fallen warriors who had once protected them. And from that day forward, the village knew peace, kept safe by the memory of those who had given everything. As Kaede looked up at the wolf moon one last time, she felt only gratitude, knowing that Kazumori would be guarded by the spirits of the past and who had finally found their rest.